Hold on.
What?
Our day is not over just yet.
Woohoo! USA! USA!
We have an action-packed hour for you 6 p.m. drivers.
Would I rather be feared or loved? Easy, both. I want people to be afraid of how much they love me.
Matt Skraby wraps up a full day of live and local sports talk.
And that is the whole problem with aliens. You just can't trust them. Occasionally you meet a nice one, but usually they turn out to be some kind of big lizard.
The Skraby Show starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
Hello and welcome into the Skraby Show for January 29th, 2025. Thank you for being here. You could watch us on YouTube. Search YouTube and 97.3 The Fan. Also, you could watch us on Facebook, Twitch, and X. On Facebook and Twitch, 97.3 The Fan, and on X, 97.3 The Fan SD. Plus, you can go to @MattSkraby if you would like to watch the show. It's not just me today. Got my guy Frank in today, so it's been a couple weeks since I've seen Frank. Frank, what's going on? How are you?
Doing good. Nothing much. Nothing much has changed over the last couple of weeks.
Okay, good.
Very
good.
boring person. So
Me too. Me too. You know what? Boring people are the best people, I guess, because we just keep ourselves out of trouble. Chris was trying to goat you and bait you as we were trying to switch shows. Chris goes, "Oh, Frank." I think he calls you Francis.
Yes.
Francis! Sorry, Francis! Did you hear about the latest controversy with Juan Soto? And Frank was like, yeah, who cares? And Chris was trying to make it this big deal here as he was leaving the studio. You don't care?
No, I don't care.
You don't care that he just bails out on FanFest?
He didn't bail out on FanFest.
He did, though.
No.
I mean, he did. So.
No, he did not. Weather canceled the flight. That's all there was to it. It was it's weather.
I'm sure it is, Frank.
That's what happened. That's what it was. That's all it was.
And you know what's great about this whole thing is that he doesn't play here anymore, and I could just move on and never talk about it again.
There you go.
We have our Fan Fest on Saturday.
Yes.
You're going to be in studio, right?
I will be. I'll be here all day Saturday.
All day? From 10 to 4?
Yes, sir.
Wow, Frank is going to be involved. I don't know if I'm allowed to say who we have on the show, so I'm not going to right now. But Tony and I are going to be on from 2 to 3. I'm going to be on from 3 to 4, and we're supposed to get 2 Padres players in the 2 o'clock hour during FanFest. So I know there's a couple waves of FanFest. There's like a morning version, and then there's an afternoon version. So if you are in the afternoon version, then please come on down and come say hi to us.
Can I guess?
What?
Tyler Wade and Eggy Rosario.
No.
Oh, okay.
Bigger than that. Much bigger than that. I will say, I'm going to text Adam and see if I can say it right now, because I just don't want to be the guy who gives away everything. And that's usually what I do. So let me text Adam right now and say, can we talk about our guests for FanFest? This is great radio, everyone. Great radio. Okay. So, yeah, we are going to be doing... Oh, if B&W said that they're... Ben and Wood said they're guests, then I guess I could say my guest, too. So we are going to have Joe Musgrove and Dylan Cease. So I'm very excited about that. Chris is actually going to be out of town. He's going with the Aztec Women's. They're traveling over the weekend, so he unfortunately isn't going to be able to make it. So Tony and I will be talking to them. And I gotta tell you, I'm a little nervous about it for a couple reasons. Because the first reason is, if we have Dylan Cease, we kind of have to ask him about the trade stuff, right? All the trade speculation that's been going on right now.
And you're going to get, and you know exactly what you're going to get? You are going to get the stock athlete answer.
I'm fine with that. I mean, I can't sit there and have Dylan Cease sit across from me and not talk about the different rumors that we've been talking about for the entire offseason. I can't just have, so Tony and I are going to come up with a plan, but that's what made me immediately nervous is when I heard that Dylan Cease was going to be there. Keeping It Real says, as long as Cease isn't traded before FanFest. It's not going to happen before FanFest. I don't think it's going to happen at all. Frank, I've completely changed my thought on what the Padres are going to do this year, because I just think that the longer we go into this, the more I feel like the trade is not out there. and they need to keep all of their good players for at least the first half of the season, see where you're at. But I don't want to blow this thing up yet. I think that there's still guys on this team that can win.
Yeah, like I said, you're only missing Profar and Higashioka off of this team that won the second most games in franchise history. So to say that the Padres are going to be god awful this year, and it's just not accurate. There's a very, very good chance that the NL West fields 4 playoff teams this year. There's a very good chance of that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's absolutely insane, which puts a lot of pressure on Atlanta, Philadelphia, New York, Chicago, and Milwaukee to win their divisions. Puts a lot of pressure on them. And you're only missing 2 guys. It makes it look so much worse. This offseason was pretty much very similar to last year's. What makes it look worse this year is that San Francisco's gotten guys. Willie Adames is their big signing. Arizona's gotten a lot better. Yep. The Dodgers are just doing Dodger things.
Yep.
That's it. And that makes it look so much worse. But congratulations on Elias Diaz, by the way. I saw that yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Elias Diaz is going to be the catcher. We talked about that. We'll get back into the Padres, but I do think we should talk about the latest departed Padre, which would be Ha-Seong Kim, and he is signing with the Tampa Bay Rays. If you're just getting in your car right now and you haven't heard anything, he is no longer a Padre. After 4 seasons with the team, he is now with the Rays, and he's making he signed a contract for 2 years and $29 million. My first thought is exactly like what it was with the Jurickson Profar contract, which we could talk about that, Frank, too, in a second. Mm-hmm. Jurickson got 3 years, $42 million, and I thought that was
too much.
It was too much. The Braves, good on them for being willing to pay that. I'm happy for Jurickson getting his money. I'm happy for Kim getting his money. But these price tags that we're seeing makes it really a lot. It makes the decision for the Padres a lot easier, because I'm sure that they had discussions with Ha-Seong Kim about coming back, but then they probably realized that, hey, we're not going to come to an agreement. We want to pay you this, you want this, so we're going to have to go our separate ways. Now, do I think this is a massive, earth-changing loss for the Padres? No, it's not. It will be defensively. Ha-Seong Kim, he struggled last year. He did win a Gold Glove, and he did save the team when Fernando went out, because he plugged right in, and no one worried about anything defensively. His bat was something that never really got going. There were stretches, obviously, but for the most part, I don't think he did enough at the plate for the Padres to really try and bring him back.
No, for Kim and for Profar, Kim had a very, very bad year last year. For a guy going into a contract year defensively, especially at the beginning of the season, he had a lot of problems. And he was hitting 200, 210, 220 for most of the year before he ended up getting hurt. So to see him get, 2 years, 29?
2 years, 29.
That's absurd for a guy who missed half the season with shoulder injury.
He's due to come back in May, and as a guy with a shoulder injury, I had surgery in June. I know it's not the same surgery.
He's not going to be ready in May,
It's his throwing shoulder. I'm not worried, and I hate to compare my road back from my shoulder surgery to Ha-Seong Kim's, but I can tell you right now, like, throwing something, and this happened in June, my surgery, is still something that hurts. And I gotta imagine it's not much easier for professional athletes. Do they have better situations? Yes. Are they doing physical therapy every single day? Yes. Do they have a doctor that they can check in with all the time? Yes. But I'm worried about that shoulder. That's not good. It's not good.
And if I may say something that's going to sound a little bit rude, but I promise it's not, he is a little bit younger than you are as well.
Frank, why do you have to remind me?
I'm sorry.
I don't know how old he is, but he is a lot younger, and he's also a professional athlete, and he's also, probably a better healer than I am. My shoulder, I'll just say, the reason I'm not a pro quarterback is because I hurt it when I was 8. And I just never was able to make it in any other position.
Reason why I'm not signing for the Padres right now is I have a bum knee from high school.
See? Two guys right here that could have been pro athletes unless they're...
I could have been Elias Diaz right now. I could have gotten the $3.3 million contract.
You would be a tall catcher.
I was a catcher, though.
You would be a tall catcher. Yep. You're like what? You're 6'3"?
6'4".
You'd be a 6'4" catcher. That would be hilarious. I don't know how... Would you do like the... Back in the day, they had those like knee savers that catchers wore.
Oh, God, yes.
With like the little wedge that they would put on the back of their legs.
Yep.
No one does that anymore.
I had them.
No one does that anymore.
I wouldn't be able to do it now because, see, there have been a ton of unintended consequences and good side effects of this whole weight loss thing. One I found out yesterday or 2 days ago. When I went to squat down, there's not as much padding anymore. So I squatted down a little bit further than I have in years, and I could not get up.
Oh, no.
For the life of me, could not get up.
Did you just go to the ground and then get up that way?
Oh, no. I made myself look like about a 60-year-old man trying to stand up. I was leaning against like a table ledge, and it just rickety old man standing up. It was not good.
That's really funny. That's really
not
funny.
good.
You know what you and Jerks and Profar share in common? You have bum knees.
Oh, there you go.
That's the one thing I'm worried about with Jerks. He has played a lot of baseball. And he slowed down last year at the end of the year.
Yes, he did.
That is why I am not angry at the Padres for passing up a 3-year, $42 million deal.
You can't be.
Ha-Seong Kim ran into a lot of problems on the bases. Didn't do it at the plate. 2 years, 29. Good, happy for Kim, but I'm out on that too. So it's not that big of a loss in my mind, other than the fact that defensively you are going to miss him.
He made the decision of going to there are two teams that he could have chose that were a bad decision.
The Dodgers?
No.
Oh.
One, he went from playing in Petco Park.
Oh, yeah, I know.
To playing at a spring training facility.
I said this on Twitter. I said from Petco to Steinbrenner Field.
And the other one was to go to a minor league ballpark in Oakland or Sacramento. Those are the two worst choices he could have made, and he made one of them.
I think that $29 million in his pocket is going to make it feel.
Oh,
a little
yeah,
bit
it
better.
will. But when he goes on the road, he'll be like, man, why did I sign up to play at a spring training facility?
Well, I mean,
for my team's divisional rival, no less.
Yeah. I mean, that would be pretty wild, gotta say. Steinbrenner Field is not going to be a good. It's better than what the A's are dealing with. Because at least Steinbrenner Field looks like a real stadium. Sutter Home or Sutter Health Park is still under construction.
Good for them.
Yeah, good for them is right.
I saw. There were pictures posted the other day on Twitter of the Trop without the roof on it.
Yes.
Just how long could it possibly take to cut the rigging off of it and just play in the Trop? Like it can't be much worse.
I'm sure they can't just. I mean, I'm thinking you can't just leave random pieces of metal hanging in the air like they do have. You know, I get what you're saying. Just cut off the rest of the fabric and
cut the rigging, cut the roof off, and let's go. It can't be much worse than the Trop normally.
I have a Sawzall. We can go down there and just slice it right through.
Let's go.
All right.
I'll take my car.
All right, Tamp. All right. Well, we'll be reporting live in about 5 days from the Trop.
Oh, it doesn't take that long. We can get there by.
I drove to Cincinnati, and it took me 30 hours in total. It takes way longer to get to Tampa. All right, everybody.
We'll be there. We'll be reporting live from Padre Fan Fest at the Trop.
At the Trop. I'm going to say let me see. Tropicana Field. We're going to figure this out, Frank. And you know what? Let's go to break. I'm going to figure this out in the break. When we get back, I'll tell you how long it takes to drive from San Diego to Tropicana Field. And we'll also get into some other stuff. Baseball has released some stats about how baseball is becoming more family-friendly. So, mileage to Tropicana, family-friendly baseball. When we get back on 97.3 The Fan. Back here, Odyssey Palace, Matt Skraby, Frank Marchese, or Manikazi, as we have said in the past, or Tony thinks his name's Manikazi, so we go with it sometimes. Frank, what's your Twitter handle? Tell everybody.
It would be at FMARKZ324.
Couldn't be any more complicated, but okay.
Well, no, it's F Marchese 324.
All right.
That's all it is.
FMARKZ 324.
That's how you'd pronounce
your Twitter.
Yes.
Okay, because Frank has some. I'm not cool enough to say this word, but he has some bangers of tweets. I don't know if that's true.
Banger after
Banger, that's
after
right.
certified banger.
There we go. So go follow Frank. You can follow me at Matt Skraby, MATTSKRAB as in boy Y. Follow the station at 97.3 The Fan SD. You can watch us on YouTube. Just search 97.3. Sammy Levitt, Inside San Diego Baseball. It's going to be taking over at 7 p.m. So I looked up how long it takes to drive from our work here to Tropicana Field, and it says it's a 2,515-mile drive, and it will take us 36 hours. So, I mean, that's straight through, Frank. We're not stopping for anything. We're just going straight through.
I don't mind driving.
You're going to drive full 36 hours?
Well, no, we'd share. We just when we make a fuel stop, we just swap it around.
Okay. Well, I remember, have you ever driven across the country?
Multiple times, yes.
Okay. Did you take the northern routes, like through like Illinois and Iowa? Because when I went to Cincinnati, I went through New Mexico, Texas, and then went up.
What we drove when we moved out here, and then when I moved back for a couple of years, I drove both ways. When we drove out here, we went south. We took the 40 all the way. Okay. And we took the 40 going there when I moved back. Coming back we took the northern route when I came back the second time.
Well, the reason I ask is because I wanted to know if you've ever stopped in Arkansas before. Have you?
No.
Okay, good. Because when I drove to Cincinnati, I went and stopped in Arkansas. And I was getting gas, and I went into the convenience store to get something, and these people did not like me. They were like asking a bunch, and this was a very small Arkansas town because I drove through Little Rock thinking, oh, hey, I'm going to hit another gas station in the next 10, 15 miles or so. No, it was like 60 miles before the next. So I'm in the sticks. And I'm already nervous about this place. And I walk in, and it was like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And the guy goes, like, when I was buying my drink, he goes, what brings you around here? And I was like, I'm just driving to Cincinnati. He's like, how long are you staying in town? And I was like, I'm just leaving, sir. I'm just leaving. And then the guy behind him comes up to the counter, and he's just standing there. It was so strange.
How long are you going to be here? Oh, I don't know. The longer you talk to me, the longer I'm going to be here.
Yeah, that's true. I'm out of here as soon as possible because it was brutal. It was brutal. I've never really feared for my life before, but I felt like I was in a serial killer movie. They were going to take me in back and be like, does anybody miss you?
That answered the question I was going to ask, which means you definitely were not at a Buc-ee's.
No, I don't even know what a Buc-ee's is, but
it's a rest stop. I've never been to a Buc-ee's, but I've seen it. It's like a rest stop the size of Walmart.
Wow.
It's massive.
That's kind of cool.
It's amazing. It really is. I would love to go to a Buc-ee's. I have one thing of Buc-ee's paraphernalia. I saw it on TikTok. I said, this thing is stupid.
You bought something on TikTok?
No, I bought it on Amazon, but
okay.
I saw it on TikTok. I said, this thing is so stupid, I must have it. It's like a gas pump. It's a water bottle. It's a 32-ounce water bottle. And the gas pump, the way you drink out of it is you drink out of the gas pump.
And you bought that?
Yes.
You bought that?
Yep.
Okay.
It's so stupid, I must have it, and I love the thing.
Oh. I'm getting text messages from Inside San Diego Baseball Sam Lever right now. He would like to talk about Buc-ee's.
Oh, God.
Put him up.
Here he is.
Sam,
Hello. Yes, I've been listening to your show here. I got to turn my
turn your mic
laptop
up, bud.
off.
This
I'm also
fantastic
in the,
conversation about
I'm
road
in the
trips.
stream if you want to put me on there.
Turn your mic
okay, I'll
up,
do that.
bud.
Oh, turn my mic up.
Yes.
Okay, let me do that.
There you
Now
go.
I should be louder. Now let me turn my own headphone down. Obviously, I was very, very prepared to join the show here. Greetings from New York, number one. Number two, I was listening to your conversation about Buc-ee's, and I am very familiar with Buc-ee's from my Texas days, and it is it's outstanding.
Really?
I mean, it is
Outstanding.
in my opinion, the creme de la creme of gas station markets
Wow.
that I've ever been to. The creme de la creme.
What makes it so great? Because out here they have
Well,
Pilot and they have Loves.
It's
and...
like it's like a Walmart. It's giant.
Well, I wouldn't classify it necessarily a Walmart. You know what, Frank, that's kind of fair, I would say. It's got a lot of different stuff. There certainly are like items you can buy. They sell a lot of clothing, a lot of items with their logo on it. This beaver looking thing on it. I think it's a beaver. But
Cutest
not
little
only
It is a beaver.
yeah, it's a
little
beaver. Kind of a very famous. I have a T-shirt with
his name.
his face on it.
The beaver is named after the guy who started it. Arch Applin III is nicknamed Beaver.
Yeah. So, very, very cool. But the main thing in the minor leagues with Buc-ee's in the Texas League was if you got there at the right time, they have real food, real kitchen,
Yes.
all different kinds of stuff you can order, prepared, prepared sandwiches, ready to eat, ready to take, banana pudding that you can take, all kinds of dessert type items that you can take.
Brisket.
It is it's top notch as far as the gas stations in America go.
I need to
Like
go
people,
check this out next time.
people out east, they like to talk about Wawa, and I'm trying to think if there's anything really like this on the West Coast. Not that I've seen, at least.
No.
But Buc-ee's is in my opinion, a class by itself.
Have you had
for
the
sure.
beaver nuggets?
I've had
wait,
many,
I'm sorry?
many a beaver nuggets. Many beaver
Are
nuggets.
those chicken nuggets, please?
But with beaver, no. No, they are a sweet little, not popcorn, like puffs, like caramel coated puffs. I would put it as that, like a caramel butterscotchy type puff.
Wow.
Very, very good beaver nuggets. So yes, Buc-ee's is outstanding.
Well,
Creme de la creme.
I've never heard of this place, so thank you very much for letting us in on this secret about Buc-ee's. Now I have to go to a Buc-ee's. I have to. Next time I see one. Where's the closest one?
I think there are some now in Florida and maybe Alabama. There are a ton in Texas, but I know they spread it to the southeast, I believe.
Okay. All right. Well,
And they just built one in Amarillo, where I used to live. Huge deal in Amarillo. I've been following it very closely on Facebook.
You've been following it very closely. I love that. Sam, what do you got going on your show tonight?
Great question.
You're with me. We're talking about beaver nuggets on the show. That tells you how much news is.
Obviously, we've had a lot of news since the last time that we had a show. We won't really dive back into a lot of that news because it's kind of old news by now. I mean, heck, I haven't had a show since Roki Sasaki officially signed.
Yeah,
so it's been a while. But we'll talk about the news of the day. Obviously, Ha-Sung Kim officially going to the Rays. I think you'll hear in the 7 p.m. hour. You'll hear my presentation of the 3 remaining paths that the Padres are faced with right now. And I think, maybe an admission on my part that there is now a reality the Padres are facing in the final couple of weeks here before spring training. And to me, there are really 3 separate routes they can take moving forward. And it's going to be a fascinating few weeks as we get to spring training, as we continue to wonder if it's going to be just a very, very quiet off season. To me, there's a path where this is still an off season where you have some major moves and you do some different things. I don't want to spoil it too much for the 7 p.m. hour, but that's what we'll open with. We'll talk about Elias Diaz. We'll talk about some other minor moves the Padres made. So we'll get into all of that, as I just saw here at the house in New York. I have no idea what that thing is. They just ran across the back lawn here. Got to check that out.
Aren't you in Long Island?
Yes, I am remote today, so I will talk to everybody from the East Coast.
All right. Well, thank you, Sam, for jumping in on the Bucky's conversation. Sammy Lev will be on at 7 p.m. Appreciate you, sir.
See you later, Skrabe.
See ya. Now I remove from the chat. From the camera. I got to check out this Bucky's because I need some beaver nuggies right now. Okay? I need some beaver nuggies for sure.
We'll stop on the way to Tampa.
We will stop on the way to Tampa. I was going to talk about that family-friendly trend. I think we're going to go to break, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about that because I think in the grand scheme of things, baseball needed to do something to get families more involved, and they have, and I'll tell you about it when we get back on 97.3 The Fan.
I have made a massive mistake.
What?
Matt Skraby has his head in his laptop right now because I showed him that you can buy beaver nuggets on Amazon during the break. You can buy a 2-pack of beaver nuggets for $19.
Yeah.
And you guys want to guess what he's doing right now with his... There it is. He is... My man is buying beaver nuggets.
I am buying
That's what
beaver
he's
nuggets,
doing.
and I'm very excited. Honestly, now that I'm looking at them, they kind of look like corn pops.
Yeah,
Remember that
that's
cereal?
That's what they're... Yeah.
Are they corn pops?
No, they're not corn pops, but they're puffs.
Oh, they're puffs. Okay, well, I am buying beaver nuggets. I almost stumbled over that word. And next Wednesday, I think if Sam's here, he could do it. Oh, no, he's going to be gone. Next Wednesday, I think.
Really? Next week? I think he'll be here next. I think Sam's going to be here next week.
Okay, well, if he's here, he can have some too. But Frank and I are going to eat some beaver nuggets.
Well, we got to.
If I get them in time.
I have an issue. Do they have peanuts, or are they cooked in peanut oil or anything? Because that would be the thing that keeps me from trying them.
Oh, I'm gonna have to check it out.
Unless you feel like rushing me to the hospital because I'm
kinda do.
having an anaphylactic episode.
Kind of do.
You do want to rush? Okay.
I'm looking.
The things you learn about your coworkers
Contains soy.
because of beaver nuggets.
What about? It says ingredients: sugar, cornmeal, corn syrup, canola oil, molasses. Contains 2% of salt, margarine, soy lecithin, soybean oil, propylene glycol. That doesn't sound very good. Natural butter flavor, natural maple flavor, caramel color, and beta carotene. Contains soy. So I think you're good.
Yeah, that sounds all right to me. I didn't hear the P word in there.
The peanuts.
Yes.
Yeah, my niece, she's allergic to everything basically, and so every time I go up there, I have to do the EpiPen class, and when I watch her, just so I know how to use
so
it.
you know what to do.
Yeah, I do.
Cool.
I do.
That's good.
Wait, so you can't eat peanuts, or really? What happens?
My throat closes over and I flop around on the floor like a dead fish.
All right, everybody, I'm gonna go grab a peanut.
There
We're gonna check
it
this out.
is.
We're gonna check this out.
No,
I want to
we
see
don't
it.
need to. No, we
I want
don't
to see you
need to do
flop on the
that.
floor like a fish, and then I'll hit you with the
No.
EpiPen.
No, we don't do things like that. I got to
Okay,
be here to
Gonzo.
produce. I got to be here to produce Sam's show after. So,
Nah.
I mean, you make a fair argument.
Sam will just talk about Buc-ee's for 12 hours.
No one will hear it though, because the pot will be down.
It's even better. Even better. All right, I have to actually talk about something tonight, and I'm going to pay off on what I've been trying to talk about. But honestly, the Beaver talk was way more fun, or Buc-ee's talk was way more fun. But MLB posted this on Twitter, and it says, a family-friendly trend. Over the last 4 seasons, Major League Baseball clubs have scheduled more early weekday start times. Coupled with improved pace of play, the number of weekday games ending prior to 10 p.m. has nearly doubled from 2021 to 2024 to 87.8%. So the Padres have done this. I mean, they moved up to 640. Mainly every single team that I can think of right now has moved their games outside of the Dodgers. The Dodgers are still like 7-10 games, which is way late now for the rest of baseball. I think some teams are even 6-10 now.
I think a lot of the East Coast games are still 7-10, I think.
That
At least they
does
were
make
last
sense.
year.
Yeah, and I know that some teams are moving around their start times because they are trying to get more families in there. And one of the things that people say about going to baseball games, I cannot go to a baseball game on a weeknight, bring my kid, and then have them go to school the next day because we're not going to get home until 10 or 11 or midnight, and then they're outside of their sleep schedule. But I think that baseball identified this, and I think it's a really good thing for them. In 2021, there were 656 games started before 7 p.m. So not that many in 2021. In 2025, they're scheduled to have 1,019 games start before 7 p.m. The average time of a 9-inning game in 2021, 3 hours, 10 minutes. In 2024, 2 hours and 36 minutes, which we've talked about the pitch clock for many different reasons and many years now. And I didn't know how it was going to work. It has been one of the best things for baseball because we just can't. 2021, average time of a 9-inning game, 3 hours and 10 minutes.
It took me all of a week of spring training before I fell in love with the pitch clock because it was the same time the World Baseball Classic was going on. And Canada was playing England. Their first pitch was at noon. The Padres' first pitch, and I was working the game that day, the Padres' first pitch was at 1. The Padres were in the 4th inning by the time the World Baseball Classic game got done with the first. So there were a lot of runs scored in that also. But yeah, the game that started an hour earlier was just getting into the 2nd inning when the Padres were going into the bottom of the 4th for their spring training game. I'm like, you know what? I love the pitch clock. Greatest idea ever.
Yeah, I didn't even before the pitch clock, I wasn't a fan of pitchers walking around the mound for 45 seconds between each pitch. And honestly, I think pitchers have gotten used to it. I know that there's probably some pitchers that hate it, but this is the best thing for baseball and for making money in baseball. You have to get kids involved. If you don't get the youth involved, then you're not capturing those fans before they grow up. And it's much harder to capture an adult's attention, I think, than a kid's attention.
Yes.
You bring a kid to a professional baseball game, 8, 9, 10 years old, that's something they're going to remember forever.
Mm-hmm.
And now that you get to see all of the game in 2 hours and 36 minutes, I think that's pretty good. But in 2021, weekday games with the last out before 9:30, 378. So 24% of games in 2021 ended before 9:30. In 2024, 59% of games ended before 9:30. Now, I'm an early riser. I go to bed early. I sometimes, I'm tired enough today. I think if I get home, I could probably fall asleep at 9 if I wanted to. So these early ends are great for me. I was so tired waiting for Padres games to end at 11 p.m. for a 9-hour game. Again, this is all good for them and getting fans to pay attention to their product.
Yeah, absolutely. And did you see what I believe it's the Orioles have done? They have drastically lowered their concession prices.
Oh yeah, we were
well.
talking about this a little bit earlier. Let me type that in because we were talking about how the Masters, they don't raise their concession prices, and so you can get sandwiches for like $1.50 or something like that. But I think that, I hate to give the Diamondbacks credit, but the Diamondbacks do some really cool things for their fans, and they're also going to be be doing some discounted foods or something. But I guess the Orioles unveil Birdland value menu with discounted concession prices. I like this. Now here is the actual value menu. Oh man, I already love this.
Yeah, I think it's like a $4 hot dog or something like that.
All beef hot dog, $4. Pretzel bites with cheese, $4. Cinnamon pretzel bites with cream cheese. Cream cheese icing, $4. Nachos, $4.
Yep.
Popcorn, $3.50. Sorry, Frank. Peanuts, $2.50. And my website has stalled. It just told me it died. So I'm really trying to get the rest of the. Oh, there it is. Peanuts, $2.50. Packaged dessert, $3. And then for beverages, 16-ounce refillable soda cup, $4. Bottled water, which this really bothers me, that bottled water or water in general is not given out for free, or at least $1. It costs the same amount as a soda, $4, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a little absurd.
Non-alcoholic beer, $5. Select beers, $5, and a seltzer, $6.
Who's drinking non-alcoholic beer at a baseball game?
Lots of people, my friend.
I've never seen that as an option. Then I don't drink, so I never really looked at it. But does Petco even sell non-alcoholic?
I'm sure they do. Everybody has a non-alcoholic beer now, and as a not former alcoholic, as a recovered alcoholic, I don't do that at all. I don't do the beer, the non-alcoholic beer thing, just because I feel like the taste would bring me back. But I do know some people who can handle it, and they like to go to games and they like to drink a non-alcoholic beer in the stands. And
It's a nice way to skirt around that 999 challenge.
what is that?
You've never heard of the 999 challenge?
I'm out of these things.
9 beers, 9 hot dogs, 9 innings.
9 beers and 9 hot dogs and 9 innings?
Yeah, you have a hot dog and a beer every inning.
That would be easy.
You say that.
That would be easy.
you say that.
I used to do, I shouldn't admit this, but in college we had the beer Olympics, and
Okay.
I was Edward 40 Hands, and do you know what that is? Frank I just killed Frank. I was Edward 40 Hands, where you duct tape. This is stupid. Kids don't do this. You duct tape 2 40s to your hands, and you can't use the bathroom until you drink both 40s. And so I did that. I also did Century Club, which is 100 shots of beer in 100 minutes. These are all different things that I did in college way back when. I think I could do the 9-9 challenge. Like, are we talking 12-ounce beer? Or are we talking 16-ounce beer?
No, it's you buy a beer that comes in there, the cup, the cup that the ballpark gives you. It's basically a beer an inning and a hot dog an inning.
It's not that. This is.
Again, it sounds very easy until you actually have to do it, and then it gets harder.
As we're talking about alcohol, Jack's on the chat says that they drink non-alcoholics every now and then. They're 44 days sober. Congratulations.
Very good.
Jax.
Congratulations.
That is
buddy.
very, very hard to do. People are saying I couldn't do the 999 thing. I obviously am not going to try it because I'm not a
Oh,
beer
come on.
guy
You
anymore.
can't puff out your chest, say, "Oh, I've got this. This is easy," and then say you're not going to do it.
This is true, Frank, but if I was gonna go down in blaze of glory,
This sounds
it
like
would be 999.
This sounds like a Scrabinator night thing. This sounds like an entertainment bit.
I have
for Scrabinator night.
2,977 days without a drink.
No, I'm not saying. No, you can. No, we will let you sub. We'll let you sub the beer out. Obviously, that's not a problem.
Okay, so what am I drinking instead then?
No, like if you do, I would say 9 sodas, but I don't want to have you bouncing off the walls. Whew.
I'll do 9. I'll do 9 Sprites.
Okay.
9 Sprites and 9 hot dogs.
Over 9 innings.
See, Sprite is a little bit different than beer. All right, we're gonna have to think about this. We're gonna
I
have to think about
just
this.
know I cannot do this with you because I had a surgery that made it impossible for me to
That's
do
fine.
this.
I understand that. Ryan says, "Don't they stop beer sales after 7 innings?" I have no idea anymore.
I think there is a limit when innings stop. So like if you have to buy a beer in the 6th inning, you get like 4, so it lasts the rest of it.
Oh man, that's old school Matt
I
Skraby.
mean, that's people do that. That's not like you're skirting around a system. It's not like
No. But I would do it for myself and not the people around me. I used to be very embarrassed about going. See, here's something that alcoholic me hated. It's when people were like, "Man, this guy's back again." Like, so I would go, and I guarantee you, people listening right now have done this. But I would go to different vendors just so I didn't go to the same person over and over and over.
It's the same problem fat me had. So I totally feel your pain there, but
Sam just
feel
texted
every
me,
bit of
"Why is
that.
Frank telling you to drink?" I know, Frank. That's
I
messed
wasn't
up, man.
telling him to drink.
It's messed up, man.
There it is.
It's messed up, man.
All right, whatever.
We'll see about this.
Sam
9
just wants
hot
to
dogs.
straight up lie. That's fine.
He's just looking out for me. Is all it is.
I would never tell you to drink. Never.
Now that we've basically devolved this entire show into beaver nuggets and beer and hot dogs, we're just gonna keep going with this, and then we'll do a daily gripe in a little bit. But Podzilla says it's like me and liquor store Skraby, gotta spread it out. I'm not kidding. There's a liquor store I haven't been into since I stopped drinking because those guys probably think I'm dead. because I was in there every single day, and I knew their schedules, and so I would wait for one of them to go home from work so the other one was there so I could go back for my second time in the day.
It's one thing that might have helped you in New York is you cannot buy alcohol, like hard alcohol, in grocery stores. You have to go to a liquor store for it.
In Colorado, it's somewhat similar. In Colorado, you can't buy liquor on Sundays. I don't know if it's like this anymore, but I remember when I went to Colorado State, we would do the Cheyenne Run, which is you drive up to Cheyenne, Wyoming from Fort Collins, which is like an hour, and you pick up all your stuff, and then you come home on a Sunday. So, because you can only drink, I think they called it like 3-2 beer, which is like a lesser alcohol beer. Yeah, we've really defaulted.
This has been the Nothing About Sports Hour.
Well, guess what? My title is The Skraby Show Live, January 29, 2025, Mucho Stress, which all centers around our guy, Hassan Kim. So, Frank, with that,
yes, sir.
I think it's time for Daily Gripe.
What's annoying Skraby today? Let's find out. It's time for the Daily Gripe.
Well, my daily gripe is today is when someone tells me to drink even though I'm not drinking anymore. So, Frank, you are my daily... No, I'm just kidding. It doesn't matter. Here's my actual daily gripe, and people have been telling me they want some driving ones. Most of mine are driving. I don't want to bring a driving one every single day. But I'm going to do one. You got one? Okay, we're going to come to you in a second. My daily gripe today are people who cannot change their lanes, meaning... I'm letting you in, and you're like, ooh, should I go to the left? No, I'm gonna go back over here. And then I try to speed up, and then they try to come over. If you're going to take the lane, take the lane.
Thank you,
Frank. Daily Grape.
If you're on the highway and you're getting passed on the right, you're too far left.
If you're
Start
on the
moving
over. Oh, okay.
If you are getting passed on the right, you are too far left, move over.
I get it, and I like it. I do.
When I become supreme ruler of the world, that will be the law of the land. If you're getting passed on the right, you're too far left, move over.
I also, I saw something. It should be illegal, and there was a picture. It should be illegal for these trucks to go, the semi trucks, to be in two lanes, and there's only a 2-lane highway, and they're going the same speed, and so you can't get around them. That should be illegal. All right, everybody, thank you for being here. Thank you for sticking with us through the Beaver Talk. I'm gonna try to get some beaver nuggets, and we're gonna eat those next week. Sammy Lev is up next. Inside San Diego Baseball, he's got you covered on 97.3 The Fan.